Akuffo ni NPP for yi official ni research Ghana. Yabaka say the outpay abem na factors when they come na election when there was a issue.
Yeah, Alaska, they did kind of mention what here for. Na me more Ghana for abaso. Because I think obi a what here since 2016 basin there. Na year 2020 elections. Me ba have a son caution be say Ghana for your mistake. No mo koto aba Akuffo Addo or enkra me no anhwa baton ba kon de ba kon
very well.
And I think asem na me kan no from 2020 up to now the economic conditions all course will chrome no I'm sure say justify that particular statement or brena mania Ghana for a firm ne nema akoso. So it wasn't about say yakoto about asem na makomatom.
Okay,
it is about the reflected the generality of what the larger Ghanaian society na esiki. But I think over the years, you know, na among fonte politics I say. Obi how I cash na dream chin me MDC de me wu koba biem kra. Obi su da shene team me MPP de me wu koba biem kra. When you take such position Alaska in the political scheme of affairs, you know, such person you become useless.
Okay.
Because vote to see them first. But when you are dynamic, you can change your mind. Based on conditions I want mind no ultimate tell because I know they know you can change your mind based on happenings in the country. Political sense and that person is relevant. What has happened?
It means who you should agree.
Yes, because omo ejina fa kono a constant way no when it comes to determination of election outcome na se for no ma omo ensure any impact be our elections. So anything I catch us say almost elections and also determine who wins power. The floating voters.
Sure.
Because the NDC, the NPP, core supporters, Obian who are core supporters, between them and win power. But there is a section of Ghanaians from floating voters. They look at the dynamics. So if you're able to sway them to a particular direction, they will win you the election. I think what happened this particular year, no, it justified that particular way. And the political communication issues structured targeting those people. Because the last time I catch you say this retail kind of campaigner over here na candidate na sorry na okoni base na anadwo 1 anadwo 2 na ye shia among for constituency na se for no. I'm hoping say going forward no ye besua bibi because that is the way of doing things.
That's right.
Old way. But I think that there are a lot of research ne dynamics about politics ma asesa niema bebra. You don't need to meet people 1 a.m., 12 a.m. Now because such message you deliver and come baby. Come for Obi Obetimi Gina constituency 1 a.m. at presidential candidate, you know, that person is already a party person. No, yeah, the what about but Obi a floating voter in Yada Jinko Gina time no say or 1 a.m. deliver message.
That's right.
And the way they do that thing. The message delivered at the grounds, you know, and so it's a waste adventure, and that's some kind of way away. But and then America so US elections now. Abra na major media houses in Trump, no, he was using the new media. For instance, there was this Rogan Trump got in the podcast or YouTube. He was able to. He had the views of about 45 million people. Even CNN 3 days we will not get that particular views. Right. You understand? So you saw that media and he was able to appeal to young voters and then as for them. And I think going forward, you know, we need to structure our campaign system. Say our old way of doing campaign. No, it doesn't work. And then there are several platforms that will be here. And I think that to a certain extent, message now, as I said 2020 advocacy across Oklahoma campaign. No, I'm finding your margin now. No, that's
right.
A advocacy, yes, certain emotion. Some of us even started even before and started a campaign because we were insisting say Ghanaians need to understand politics. Now, kwanya abayano abrabo bonia abayano de Ghana for bosso ne abrabo mobo. But Anam say that emotionally partisan attaching into no Sanya na ye botugu but from 2020 ebesi ne you could appreciate say a lot has changed so far as politics and is concerned young people. So Alaska who be some factors added this particular way by medical say the course NDC victory a Ghanaian victory. Ghana for in one accord have decided say enough of this nonsense. That is why I told you say a revolution without a gun.
Revolution
without a gun. Like that revolution.
Tsunami
without a gun. Ghana for decisively and overwhelmingly have decided say Nema I play out our this particular country. Enough of it. And they are also sending a loud message to Abina Wabane say, what would the idea you know? You wouldn't even say no. Obana bedin semhuna. That is the fate awaiting you.
Okay.
So I'm sure say it's a good news. It's a Ghana for a hotel normal family. I send a very powerful message to politicians out there. And then Akuffo to lose you. And I think that there is a multiplicity of factors. One has to do with the president Nankasa. His arrogant posture. Ne subain ne kwan of us or yeah. The catcher said the very moment Akuffo set up, he set himself up to fail. Because in this modern your friend saying democratic dispensation yewomi Alaska class some say yede akonya ma now kwakasa ofie fo betwa ahohia. When you do that you lose willpower.
That's right.
Willpower and said the ability to crack down on. Me fan say general manager wa adwuma mo ayo onua panyini. And now when I wear you have only new aketwa na what take console ya nim. You think say o menua panyini na general manager after all dey na besi. Now what ya na wudi nsem hunu. Ono say nam say woni nua na ye woni nti ontumi nka.
That's right.
Nti woni ba ho so no o da bia pon akonsole ba kon de kofie. Woni ba so na otutu speakers na se fo nyina de ko because wonu apanyini na te wo. So that willpower and you lose the leverage because after all we are there ontumi fa police mechew.
That's right.
Woni nua na ye wo eto de abusia. That is why in the wisdom of those who have studied politics no e culture say chronism, family and friends, those we know we are president na odo ho kotoma. A killing something we call willpower. But we are president of our culture, and none of American state cannot be weak and cannot be have mercy.
Exactly.
That state in America no a representation of the president because you are the executive force as a will lead that. So when that weakness no you are done. Other people around you will begin to do some of these things. And they know, and they're there. The Akuffo Addo Abaiма who said, "I can operata." Bossabi and Kwasi Abosin will be a Kenyan assumption now. At some point, the company and an advisor, our Jessica Frim, banking sector cleanup by Ghana for the money to say, some of us have studied policy. We've seen a lot of some of these things because there is nothing new under the sun.
That's
Bible
right.
Nakaya, or 2008, our America, they had similar banking sector challenges in Asifo. We saw the finesse and the wisdom the Obama government then adopted by ensuring credible firms, or musika from the Treasury Department go out there and buy the distressed assets. Make sure you stabilize them so that people will not lose their job, so that there will not be tsunami. Chase Bank, our America, yes, and JP Morgan Chase, these are credible banks. They bought all the distressed assets. I know the day, and then from the mind can other way. So when Baumia and Co started this particular thing, that was the same thing we were expecting. Say, make sure you don't kill the bank, but by your name,
that reference.
Exactly. So Papa Kwasindium now also what's in the bank. Now Sikane Womno didin semuna. You have every right to pick Papa Kwasindium as an individual. You deal with him. Any legal malfeasances be our committee biano, you can deal with him, but don't kill the bank. Because I said there is nothing like private bank.
Exactly.
There is nothing like private bank and in any country. But the very moment you open your doors and public comes in, it is the responsibility of the government to ensure the economic safety of those who are investing. So government to no private bank. So but omontie and omoye nema sa na Alaska ekoko jigu ye. But President Nankasa Alaska my culture say afraid to be arrogance of power. So we are buying. That's all got times I don't know the taro wo ya no. And that's exactly what Akuffo Addo did. Alaska, so we Kumasia, your friend constituency be Kwabere.
That's right.
I'm told the constituencies in more biggest numbers.
The largest.
Akuffo Addo went there. And Medoko Kumasi says here. Now no na me come na me na beku Santana yesho na me say me ka say me share obi and me be say enti over the years from Kufuor pencil be say Akuffo Addo pencil the Kumasi people have been very grateful to NPP. Nti me pese me hu eye ade asombo kese e wo Kumasi abaka say NPP ba ye e na oba ye ade we ma yen ko anya hwe me nse Mahama hesi kejetia yes Rotary Park na hwan hospitals ahodo ne na se for enti die na oye nipa cross Kufuor maternity na me say moya na mo bodam Alaska they see come for not no kra no no for am fam pride no ho na wa akosi maternity popotro bi dey kwatare baby and a achievement you see the joke so over the years the people have been taken for granted
for far too long
so when he went there now we be say kwabre for so omo kwan omo no to aba ma Mr. President there na abaye e say we nyansa sem na wo ka kire omo. That is what differentiates a gangster from a leader, a president. Oh yes,
a gangster.
That is what differentiates a gangster from a president. Nipa na to abamano. Because Akuffo was an imposter from the beginning. He's a fraud theory. President no, it's like movie. Na ya script amana or who play. That is not who you are. And your role play.
And Obia, he's not what he is. No,
yes, or a role play, no, because he knows nothing about presidency. Because at that moment, you find wisdom and sell to the people, even if it is a lie, you just to show respect. He told them, so indirectly, he was telling them, this is people are not for about my president at Alaska. Kwabre for we kokrumoti this time around. Go to Kumasi and check the vote. Go and check NPP's performance. And I'm sure says the reason why some of you have to take your first credit for all this advocacy Akuffo, because the message young people team politics that is why you see those numbers. And one thing I think say boy Ashanti region over the years numbers if you have a cook numbers
sure.
And I'm expecting say me regional divisions and as for my but say Akuffo I do any 16 say any 20 I think that Ashanti region say team 3 yes, team 3 na emu na ho na development nko kro no kra kan bom dodo na things o make development. So Alaska sa niema na omo ekeka boss wa ekeka bom no eno na ka ho bi titiro ena ma Ghana for ka said no papa we ebu nipa mfere nipa because beka ya obo dwadata ama ohini bi betena ase o se ye bo anthem ohini na nsore Alaska you see say uko school na wo mature na say onim die do a certain level na say wo gina badwama even say obi ya de akra na enya there are ways what temperament na over react. You saw the video.
I don't know our Akra
president was throwing childish tantrum indicating say he's all powerful. Unfortunately for him or he no crisis had no yare no no the can but function na say for several hours president. So by the time president better say no omoye de omoye na na nisu chiri no, so he had no other option than to sit down. The following day president Konikro yebo national anthem and the budget phone so he couldn't even caution her. That is the level of embarrassment. At some point in time President Akuffo ko voter region in Suafa nipa we are making arrogance and quan settle.
That's right.
Or voter region in Suafa nipa money to go munsem at that point and I'll call remind you of say mekra na ka vote nkwa. When the Okromo himself voter region won't have my baby. So you don't need to go there to remind them at the time and the people are in pain.
Meanwhile, through action and inaction of
exactly
government.
It was an accident. Nipa na da se ka se maybe nso agum so. Because they knew the implication of what they were doing. They knew that omu bia de na be boro so the spillage will go to that extent. They knew nobody did any risk assessment bia and yet di go omo so. Until you don't go there and say at that point a sign of immaturity, but he displayed it. The same voter region, the guy goes to funeral, I him for tete fine, maybe a sorry, but sorry as a leader, it is not your business to go and direct them. Sorry, even protocol team no signal be now go country was a president ba Alaska then sorry now Mr. Common sense. But no, ofri say o man yes ne maame na ewu no de agya no se ne papa na ewu no de agya no se ama power na wanya no emma wie ye da wo se de yo e na sa sabi enkura sema ordinary no you don't expect opinion over here. That is what he displayed. Then you're back to the economic front, Alaska. Ghana economy was here, and that is why when I see people on street jubilating, yes, changing now, but we are jubilating. But Alaska, me say the future looks so bleak and uninspiring because of the economic circumstances. Ghana for them Musisi Amenoka say Alaska. Say you would minority, how we are aware. Say Ghana, you declare bankrupt. Ye doing to yaka.
That's right.
Ya postpone it. Your debt I had external creditors in your push quite anymore. And ask ye ever to yes, some of the debt will mature early as 2026.
Exactly.
The amount of money we are to pay, we don't have them. So the new president will have to brace his heart, go to IMF and renegotiate.
And he has even hinted.
Yes, because that is the only way out. And yes, apart from IMF, he has to go to the credit space and renegotiate the already negotiated terms with your creditors.
So that you must have some breathing space.
Exactly, yes, you can do. Because Microphone here, Agumoni will mutiman say, Oma bo mina no mo PP cutting in him. So inheriting, you are inheriting a disaster. That is why I'm expecting say the new government, Alaska, Adiaba over the years, a buying beer power and a real free because be a copy be not communication front na breaky. And I know the day some of these things because you need to let the Ghanaian people know and understand the real state of Ghana's economy.
I'm not cutting you so but I stated it here yesterday. Say you should open the Pandora box.
Oh yes.
Now every sector of the economy, Ghana for
and
fellow Ghanaians.
Yes.
On your fellow Ghanaians.
Alaska, me say energy sector alone. I assume hono Alaska. We say omoto about we dum so.
That's right.
Because your power your generation mix, I think say you 5,316 megawatts. That is way peak day we have about 3,700 thereabout. Alaska generation mix, Ghana yeah 50%. Then the IPPs, the independent power producers 50%. So that generation mix and the Maya yeah to a tune of about $2 billion. And this so now sogly Chinese wave no only. Yeah, talk about another crack could do more plant. What is a finance minister or no more agreement?
That's right.
Because ECG has no control over this. Because Omoka no more could do plant, ECG when power no on and Ubenebi now watch it, but they off the entire plant due to one light in a doom. And now I buy no lose power. They don't even know their fate. And until who doom so no cause because they didn't resolve anything. And see, I'm not say, as John Mahama bottle say, okay, power we need your mocha. And then created that fund. Now the other is a Sikaba Toma. You let us form a consortium of banks. Now you one as a leader. And the Sikaba toss our fund in Numa. Alaska wouldn't do anymore. When a doka, when a dear Kayanji Mosa. Akuffo Addo buy a mobon quasia bossian in area, and I can forata como geji, the Esra, and on the Quaja Bossia. And this Sikabia Batasa Lumbiano, paying the energy sector with
level
empty and I pay for the mortgage. Then so Obakaya nan saying ya the get funder over the years. Oko secondary school and I had to talk as man cry. Come and the get fund, they say get fund to mean talk get fund to mean provide anything for students. That is the state. So you need to paint a picture skill description of Ghana's economy. Sabaya people will not be overexcited. Say yeah buy now, but yes, yeah baby, no. There is no room. And unfortunately for this John Mahama administration and Ghana for Niati brutal. I'm telling you.
Right.
And it is not business as usual. Even though 2016 was president, but the stakes has changed. Social media and other platforms are heightened, and you can't do anything in secret. And you have to be very transparent and let Ghanaians know. Say, I'm not saying your debt to your GDP numbers now who are artificial, but at some point in time, World Bank projected now you over 100 and something. Alaska, that is the reality. Your debt to your GDP, your friends say cost in Ankasa, your debt to Ankasa, you know the amount, and then over about 700 million. Then you come to the fact say, Afibia, Sika, the service your debt, your jai, your twin to your Eboabo, your Basiamba. We need to go back and renegotiate with China. You see, I'm not credibility, what they call Bobosia. Or credit score as hang junk
only
affordability. Exactly, that is the right word. Ghana for better say affordability and the Kobosia wouldn't be. Alaska Bank of Ghana for the first time in the history of this country. Bank of Ghana to boka over 60 billion Ghana say a binsi in the history of this
Bank of Ghana auto day.
The winning cannot mobile, we want to say as I board members no more da no to 500 your friends say 500 million each 500 million as allowance for say ya boka over 10 over say over best 60 billion e bin see that
no to no o tua ne ho ka man allowance
I to gold watch nyacha mo ho na won ka say ebi nkoto iPhone as watch mo
that's right
and I know musisi we da ho nsam ye nwie da so Ghana for what is obi kan Akuffo Addo asema obi antan no papa ni di pabonini. Yes, that was why the last time I catch Captain Smart say Nyankopon ni bedi no o gym o pagya nade o nya no ho adaje.
Nyankopon ni nana do bedi no.
Nyankopon ni bedi no
o gym
pagya nade because Alaska boni papa na di no this of hwehwe na ni so bear 4 days.
What the boni o?
What the boni?
And NPP for Yanka Sanka. And you know something, Nadia on social media said, oh, such as a very cement to Betty Swaba 16. Cement to Betty Swaba say.
Nadia, yet so there is no price coming down. And the Fatu Ghana for team because a near man say we price stabilization Albania and they will talk about 10 CDs. I know what you say over 7 CDs. I
don't know what say at the end. Yes, said the catchers and Jenny.
Alaska. Now MPP party, no. So who said the party is here? Enti saa we bia obo no obebo anka be me de osofo bia o ka say Akuffo Addo is one president obeko fie with a lot of shame na man for free say yeah politics na animguase na efia papa we die ko na all kotena fie no Alaska
okay
thank God chose like King Ahab has turned his heart from God for material blessings. He has turned his heart from God and has sold the destiny of the nation. So the president of Ghana will be one of the presidents that will walk away from the state house with a lot of shame and a lot of anger from the court of heaven. A lot of shame and a lot of anger from the court of heaven. And as long as God lives, unless if he will repent and change some of the steps he has already taken to put the nations into the jaws of the enemy to eat. But if not, starting with him to his descendants, no one will ever rise up from his family into state house or into prominence. Even his party, as he leaves the office, it will take them many decades. Not that the opposition will come into power 2 terms and they will come back. It will take them many decades to return, because the nation of Ghana is one of the beloved of God. But as it is now, there is an exchange in the realm of the spirit. So even the nation of Ghana next year 2022, there will be a lot of chaos in the name of demonstration, in the name of strike. There will be a lot of judgment on the nation. People will be dying anyhow. When it rains, the rain will rain with judgment. When the sun comes down on the earth, it will.
And anytime we are met to body away, no. Alaska, what shall say body away? You know,
almost 2 years.
And go for a young Safua, and at least they will learn something from this particular prophecy. Or say not or can say. President in the best son again. Na Jama Nebuchadnezzar Samna Yakao. Or no, near Abjin such a biao baby. Akumiana Otisono, he never thought in a way, and not in the sort. So, and Alaska. Second part of it, the course soon also no one say Mugana for Kahon. Because I was set up. Net Quayam far some coffee about me and the buyer. Now they were seeking to insult everybody. Baumiana Akuffo Addo at the center for. Amamu born in Semuna Cosuin, Momienu, and Omocoso, ye. Now, Okotia Taba, Quentin, and Basso, or they know your mate here. Another day, you are insulting everybody. Not opinions and need some fan about Tana. What's Uncle Fanapo? Now, remember that's all crew money. I can vice president in Napo. Alaska. Nankano continue Guinea Grand Campasoni so. Guinea. Over that sorry, in a your vice president. Insult. Now, Odem Osana Mose, Yamia Duma, Mina Mayor in charge of DDEP. Serious. Alaska. And I make us a young mama. Presidency, at top form, I'm a fiamba home. So any person can just wake up and say, Miss the president. Because in a serious country where we are pressing problems, now you expect intelligence to come to bear. No, you will not go and pen a poet. Your friend saying, Baumia, now Omujina platform. So, and I make us a young sacra and sign council or posture. You say and you be Sifian as a phone.
Don't
know about you. Say Yanko. Yes, and I you see.
As a mamma,
yes, you see. Alaska, we in Tanzania, we are incumbents. Looking at how a minor fair no. Alaska, you don't go back and put out such behavior. But I'm saying, Obia is so arrogant. And then, na me ka about we team no sate up no. Alaska, this is a guy of a president. President too, are the powerful way our party. No, look at the NPP as a political party. Na ofa obi amana your communication person you be lead the team na. Boy, no yourself anything.
Miracle, Dennis Miracle.
Yes, Alaska. This is a combative, arsenic guy. Alaska, you see, president.
Combative, arsenic.
Yes, Alaska, you need somebody who is very intelligent, somebody who has the ability to be dynamic, but to maneuver, because you see, communication, you know, me say, me platform because we has a way of communicating.
Exactly.
Who you sit in the studio has the way of communicating, so you should be able to change that kind of stuff. But Alaska, we are talking about the presidency. A lead communicator, you will need him to be appealing to a certain intellectual class. So I'm asking you, sir, Professor Jampoti, University of Ghana. Na onyen decide nipo beto abama no. Na ohe TV. Na yesi ba umia spokesperson. Ena ye Baraka Abuaje. Na onkasa na unconvinced prof long to abama na. Alaska, we need to get serious.
Only me that was a boy that Miracle would nim nyansa.
Okay.
The deal okay say so no wood infrastructure ever ye camp your bet 20 hours. E ho na me hu say because so what's your hospital ewo ebian kraya or latter and benefiting of. I hope I'm so
no Alaska make just say you can't fake intelligence. If you are not wise, you cannot fake to be wise. And don't blame him. That is his level. Now his kind of communication, yeah, to certain aban that communication, you know, sometimes when you need defense. And as gidi near the opposition, your friend is saying party.
That's right.
But when you are in power, you're posturing. That is why NDC about power, the communication, your friend saying, posturing, language, the tone, everything need to change drastically.
Exactly.
So you are no more in opposition. You are in power. You need to manage the relationship between you and the people out there.
Level don't change.
But when I make us who's a Ghana no one. So obi opposition, with the team. The very moment they get power, then me say power has a way of sucking wisdom out of people's head. The language will change, the tone will change, and I'm for and I cover before need no. So sometimes about when I'm for to tia abayano. Eya na nya policy din as for sao. Enkrofo bi no ho ahi because of kasafi ne kwa amfa so conduct o mo ho no. Eno nko no can contribute to your defeat. So I think that these are lessons are going forward, you know. Alaska I listen your course this year. Some transfer na think mention reforms na mention report wa. Me think menya better 1,000 pages.
Oh really?
Oh yes. Because nneema bebra metinche na me say the things that I see enya the kitwa but nipa no gusu yo and they don't see say even some because my Samara Krabwaje appointed that making. I'm not sure that till date NPP for realized that it was a mistake. I'm not sure.
Oh, they are even praising him.
Good. Bringing on Napo as a running mate till date, I'm not sure that because how can anybody on his right senses? Alaska, yes, a council of state in the year, you know, and last time was a council of state in Omoyam Kramaranti or Phenomosi so, and Omoyam Kokrafo and Omoya Dang because Hackman yourself very Hackman. This am penning for yet see or Moncania Yam Kra, and think this am penny funky a common Nancy could hear wisdom. But Alaska, Kasawo media so I said you crack Kenyans a same chance I'm penning for way. Because with him as a council of Addo in Alaska, one I want to go near be a cost where we should be bold enough. The last time I made catch about the messes in America.
That's right.
Trump abay said a drawing you not Trump and then a year babada. I wrote the Hunya, you're not then Onya call from Bob Messa, say Omra, or America, that's said entirely than because they call the shop. Somebody out there more powerful than you can never be, even though you are the president. You need to go and listen, and yes, sir, they can all make you. Steve Bannon, these people just a phone call, and then he ended up in prison because they cut him. But Alaska, you who's a man, Bessin ne. Want to meet me TV so abra Ghana for di ohiana benena bebrese galamse isi waba na abrante wait TV so me gold ba akunie gold mienu nie na odi Ghana for him panyine bia ni ho from the president to council of elders etimi frɛ no Kenyans asɛm kyerɛ no na say kasa bi oti radio so ka ono kwa na wa bia TV stations by 5 where he got that money. Alaska going forward, I think say lifestyle dynamic you say auditing that kind of
sure.
And Alaska I mean can same way we see NDC are buying by power and your business as usual.
That's right.
And don't expect to say obi baba nya power dia bedim class say na obi no better TV so be defended. No, that will never happen.
That's right.
So all that you have to do power no Ghana for have been very magnanimous enough and I because of Nsemuna.
You hold it in the trust of
yes
people,
and you do it well. You do it with respect. You do it with recourse to Niama Mampo Nemu. And yes, it is not time to make money. The last time, because a day before election, I spoke to a professor. I know catch him say, "Oh, you're sure about John." And I say, "Oh, go and vote for him." Or one thing about him, they say, John Mahama has been president before, but obey or your president now, or two choices: the choice to be Ghana's best president ever, and the choice to be Ghana's worst president ever. But the good thing is, the choice is his to make.
Wow.
And I'm sure, say, he will make a good choice.
Exactly.
But it's up to him. So I'm sure, say, being there before, no, it's very experienced enough. Ghana for their trust and support to Ghana for when you know what they are
because
looking at you.
Exactly because opposition, you say. Na do a pack court no.
Yes.
So say your man will to me and you can unpack the court.
Yes. And to me now what the man no there is so now na me na be ku yeso na me ka say even Supreme Court judges and Chief Justice nyina no and we can get them all of them out.
Oh, that's right.
I know baby Sam say how. Na me say oh mra na ye this Chief Justice na we no our constitution must have a petition, but in this particular case, any petition because to tell Alaska, all you have to do, you have overwhelming power to do constitutional amendment.
Exactly.
So you can look at their tenor. Now why stand 1 month per now with their pim was after 3. So you can extend the constitution and get all of them out.
Oh, that's right. Which
oh, Alaska. Intermediate all other I want in say state institutions. Ghana for benya GDA woman.
Sure.
Because court na da hono Alaska. GDA nim. Sa akwatenti da go bi omko say oye your friend say parliamentary candidate e wo ho a ono nim so oye MPP.
Ya jawu.
Na we ye nipa wo conviction a. President kwa appoint wo no. Ka kire ne say, "Oh, Alaska ye de to da ase ye moa wo. Sabi. Na no America. Are you aware say Abrante na Trump appointed no as attorney general. The whole attorney general. And now issues be by more erase here. Or no about catch Trump say on to me.
That's right.
Alaska. These are people or no attorney general America. Or say okay, we jai. And your chroma we bet my baby. Mesa wo ma obi to me now fan yere crop pen wa fan yere because to me na yehia 2 minutes so nya amfa nya nsabe e de 2 minutes winya yamfa mra masum nipa enya sika pe for politics no person wo je wudin yi na wo je wudin a be good to people, invest in human, not in properties. Because property, no, yeah, don't say
that's right.
We don't think about investing in people. We always want to. And then if we are sabi, or no, we are man, then that person at the same time is buying properties for the same kid. And then because if you give your children some level of education, good job, you don't need to be buying properties for them because you have set them up to be successful in life. The choice is theirs to make. What does that make? But I don't say Adriano, who the womb, Nipani to me and I just say, yes, you're near Babidi. But I know I always say, Asadan Kanyame, and I Ghana you to Moniati. When you're to me now, I just have property now, you have a contem, and a mechano. Ghana for a part of this government.
Oh, that's right.
At this time, government in young Rogo, John Mahama, and Ghana for to do now support. You know, mostly.
That's right.
Whatever that he needs to succeed, no, I think he has it. So I think there is also a positive discretion. No, making sure, say, friends, bootlickers and see comfort. Now you try Mushia. Or you press you, there be others. I started from that people.
That's right.
When you are setting up. And you set up friends, cronies, and those people. Well, we I don't know. And Akuffo yeah. Abrante on nam abontenum jot to Tiana, no asante be dear to no time no say, oh yeah, your friend saying,
press secretary.
Sabi. na Gabia Saroche da kuno ne number be kano for atanom ne nan baby. Na we ye nie. So Alaska, you need people who can look you in the face and say, hey, President Jankwasa asem no, Janse Munu no. Because the atu Akuffo Addo no, yem pese bi beto yen enti no do the right thing. And I think that you need strong people who will be able to tell you the truth. The ugly truth now you don't want to hear. So okotena na da bia ye budget so o kana obi no agreement
That's right.
because they don't have to be agree with you all the time. You need critical intelligent mind that be around you because anamaka no babia amamo na ba beduru no enya ndisi bi na NPP bi mo
no
amanfo akese 40 echi o mo hwe o pressure no ba beba. Social media has become an effective tool. It can make you and not make you.
But say social media.
Yes.
And, radio stations are very positive.
Yes. And your campaign be no be and social media advocacy, the exposure. Kevin Taylor turn the radio so exposure say hold on and so and your campaign but he's on radio telling people on platform other people platform telling people what Akuffo Addo is using our power. So you see because those platforms no omunkudum no. Omori be ya adwuma.
Mame Ivan, in fact, what raise the issue fine.
Okay.
You use platform way. Emma Ghana for when you ma Bonia Akuffo Addo eye.
Yes.
Ghana for say Alaska new team, including others, ye team when you Mahama ba. Mitino platform way can say players are here the ball a year qualification series no.
Yes.
And yes, our players in the ball major tournament.
Yeah.
The fact is that NDC abane yem party ni say obia na was on your appointment.
Yeah.
Now, per asama wo kan sisi ano.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be business as usual.
No.
I was say Mahama yi experienced people.
Yes.
Ometo enya way and a mini way nka and enya no near ba ye. We are not going to change.
Yes.
You know, sabano be sisa na adwen ye sisa ya adwen because we mean well for Ghanaians.
Yes.
Since I say propose bibi farmer abai we oba what will you propose?
Oh, I think that's a Mexican or efficient government, Alaska. That is very, very important. And getting around these strong people who will put your ass on fire as president. They will tell you the ugly truth because it's not business as usual. Then going forward in Alaska, you see, your institutions are job.
That's right.
We need to make sure that we strengthen state institutions.
Overhauling.
Appointment a woman sabi enyina kwan papa so no. I see a reversing nyina na making sure say we put competent people at various positions. And ade ba ko Ghana for gina so to aba Mahama pa ma we mfi da accountability.
Accountability.
Holding these criminals accountable. Alaska, that is a sacred your friends say foremost your friends have responsibility that has been imposed on President Mahama or renege on it. Alaska disaster will be for this government. I'm telling you.
Mame Mao near Mao your time. Mame Mao
me no have a conversation. What question be I just ask? Yeah.
Mame Mao near Maku pena Mahama dia tuja. So the first 90 days.
Okay.
Oba obeye. Ivan, the first 90 days day one. Was it within 14 days? You're sworn in within 14 days.
Yeah.
About nominate, nominate within first 14 days.
Okay.
The first 14 days, the complete list of cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval.
Okay.
That is one. Your code 2. Constitute the leanest and most efficient government in the first 90 days in office.
Yes. 3.
Establish a robust code of conduct and standard for all government officials.
Okay.
Yabano, 4. Hold a national economic dialogue to discuss homegrown physical consolidation solutions. Yaba 5. To scrap e-levy, COVID levy, 10% on bet winners, and emissions levy within first 90 days in office.
Okay.
Yaba 5. You got 6. 6 in the Senate. Commence drafting needed. Legal amendment and prepare for implementing the 24-hour economic policy.
Okay.
Yaba 7. Implement the no academic fee policy for all first-year students in public tertiary institutions. I mean, call 8 and that was 8. Institute a government policy banning political appointees from purchasing state assets. 9. Institute forensic audit into banking sector collapse. COVID-19 expenses. Other reckless